Get jiggy with it. Get jiggy with it.
I always feel racist when I say get jiggy with it. I think
why is that?
Because that's a racist term.
Is it really?
Jig is. You can. I mean, that's a derogatory. I don't like using the word niggardly because I mean that's actually a legitimate term. It means to be miserly. But my God, it sounds weird. It feels weird to say.
Calling a spade a spade.
I say that one all the time.
Calling the pot calling the kettle black.
Yep.
That's the other one.
Yeah.
So no, I
mighty
totally
white of you. No, wait, that actually is racist. Sorry. Yeah, let's not use that.
I'm just a honky.
yeah, that's very true. But I speak jive. So that's good.
That's funny. We just don't go, yo, my honky.
No, we do not. Hey, you, my other white person friend, my other caucasoid.
Geekazine South by Southwest coverage brought to you by Red Touch Media.
Evo Terra here. What do you got for a book here? That's not your book.
No, this is not book. This is not mine. This is a friend of mine, Hugh Howey. He's here at South by Southwest.
Okay.
Hugh wrote a book called Wool and self-published it. It's kind of a serialized story. There's like 6 parts to this book, and it was fantastic. Took off, went gangbusters. He made literally tens of thousands of dollars a month.
Wow.
Selling this book in ebook form. Put it on CreateSpace too, so you can buy a print copy of it as well. Okay. And he went to Simon & Schuster. That's what this book is, by Simon & Schuster, the trade paperback. And they have the print rights for just this particular version. And he's doing fantastically well. He's one of the key speakers here today. He is the shining star right now in what you can do in indie publishing by embracing this idea of self-publishing. I love it.
I did an interview last night at the Copy Blogger party of a guy by the name of Mark, and he actually did an ebook read, a little tabletop reader, and then he did like A is for this, B is for this, C is for this.
You don't mean Dr. Seuss?
And it's not Dr. Seuss. It's
Shel Silverstein.
No, not Shel Silverstein.
I don't know who it is.
Anyway, the whole point is that he did Kickstarter for it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was about zombies, and it's like A is for Aaron.
Yes, I know of this.
Yeah.
Yes, I know of this thing. Right, right. That was that guy? He was here?
That was that guy.
Damn.
And we had a fun little interview with it, and I got to see the book for the first time. It was a lot of fun. So, but that's what we're talking about right now. Different ways to publish it. Because I'll tell you right now, my audience, I'm looking for ways. I've got lots of content that I could publish, and I'm trying to find ways to do it and do it better, and go from there. Not to say that the conventional method's not the best way.
No.
They don't go for it, and you still want to continue on.
Yeah.
Then you have an avenue to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the important thing. What you're talking about is that you have a lot of content, right?
Yeah.
And that's what authors need to start thinking about. You're not writing a book. You're producing content. Yeah. And there's probably lots of other content you produce on the way. That's just one simple container, whether it's an ebook copy, or whether it's a print book copy, or whether it's an app, whether it's a webisode. Those are all just containers to the content that you actually produce. We need to think about it as intellectual property. What else can I do with all of the stuff that I have done? I mean, think of all the interviews you've done over the years. You could transcribe those out and then put them into some sort of a narrative form.
This is chapter 34, by the way.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. You can actually use all of this content and then break it down and put it into a more readable book presenting form, turn around and sell it for $5 on Amazon. You put $3.50 in your pocket every time somebody buys one of those, as opposed to a traditional publishing deal, which I don't want to disparage them, but here's the deal. When my book, Podcasting for Dummies, sells for $20 in the store, I make 85 cents.
That's it? Just 85 cents?
Yeah, 85 cents.
So you're actually making 50 cents more by doing it yourself.
Oh, easily, yeah. If I did it myself and I sold the book for $5, I'd make significantly larger money than that. Yeah, that's the reality of the situation. Amazon pays you 70% when you price your book between $2.99 and $9.99. And so what do you need? Maybe 10,000 copies? 10,000 copies at $3.50 a pop, that's $35,000. That's a pretty decent wage for many, many people. Yeah. And you can write lots and lots of books. You don't just stop with one. Yeah. You keep writing. That's the secret. Continue to produce new content.
Geekazine South by Southwest coverage would not be possible if it wasn't for our friends over at Red Touch Media. And did you know that Red Touch Media also serves 2 billion files to every month to a global network of retail kiosks, store portals, and mobile solutions for a variety of clients, including Sony Pictures, Warner Music, and Paramount, and Disney. Now, if you're a maker of movies, musician, or whatnot, or you just like to watch movies or like to listen to music, check everything out over at redtouchmedia.com/Geekazine, where you can also get 20% off by using that code Geekazine20. So check it out over at redtouchmedia.com/Geekazine, and remember that code Geekazine20. Let's move on to the Kickstarter.
Okay, sure.
Because I think that's a crowdfunding, whatever you want to call it. I hate to call it Kickstarter. It's also Indiegogo. And
there's
stuff,
lots of other ones, yeah.
But crowdfunding is the actual term.
And there's probably 9 new ones that launched at South by today. We didn't know it yet.
Comic books, regular books, everything like that.
Yeah,
so,
you can.
So how do people approach a Kickstarter as a publisher?
Right, mostly the wrong way. Many people, in my opinion, are using Kickstarter to replace the one thing they want from a publisher, and that is that advance, that additional money up front. And so they put a Kickstarter and Indiegogo campaign together, and they say, I need to raise $5,000, I need to raise $10,000, I need to do something like that. And that's it. That's the end of it. And I think that's a mistake, because you can use crowdsourcing, crowdfunding to do a whole lot more. Because if somebody gives you $10,000 to write a book, you should have just kind of written the book already. Yeah. So what you need to do is find out, what would you really do with that money? Yes, you can hire a cover designer. Yes, you can hire a copy editor. But, put some thresholds in there to say, look, if I raise $10,000, I'll hire this copywriter. But if I raise $20,000, I'll go get, Boris Vallejo or someone real high up in there that's right for your particular niche, that can do something more. But I think the biggest challenge that authors face with Kickstarter is, what's the payoff? Okay. Because I have to get something more than a 99-cent ebook or even a $19.95 hardcover. That's not enough. I mean, what's my incentive for giving you $100? And it won't be an autographed copy, by the way. That is not enough.
It's like me and videos. I go out and I get a sponsor to do my videos.
Right.
And technically I haven't done these videos yet.
Okay.
But then I turn around and I say, here's what I've done for videos, and then my sponsor looks at what I've done and say, hey, okay, this is what we can give you, because you've got some proven track record there. So that's the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's a very similar thing, although the vendor, the sponsor is getting, you mentioning them over and over again. You can't mention the 27 people that gave you $100 every episode. That simply won't work. So you got to make sure you build in something that's special for them. I know some people have been successful that if you give me $100, I will I'll do some special record a video for you, anything like that. If you give me $5,000, because people have $5,000 to spend, I'll fly out and I'll do a live book signing on all those other events. There's lots of neat ways to do that, but it's got to be something more than just raising the initial money to write a book. Because this book, Wool, was written on lunch breaks and getting up early every morning and just getting it done. He didn't need any money. He had a job.
Yeah.
Most of us have jobs, right? You can work around jobs and family to get actually a book written. Yeah. That's not what you need money for. You need it for something else, and you got to figure out what the payoff is. So I not that I don't like Kickstarter for authors, I just think many authors are doing it for the wrong things.
All right. Well, let's move on to a different subject. Actually, something you kind of taught me when we met up at South by Southwest on the first day, and that was the idea of other ways to actually get books written. And the one thing I was talking to you about was Fiverr, and getting somebody else to take transcription of what I was going to say. So I was just thinking, I'll just record it and put it on tape and then give it to the person. They'll transcribe it there. Boom, there's my book.
Yeah.
And you're saying that that's not the right way.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, because when we speak out loud, we typically do not speak in full grammatically correct sentences like I'm trying to do right now. But really, all I've done is made one giant run-on sentence.
Yeah.
It sounds okay in conversation. It makes me look like a moron when you read it. So if you are to use the speech that I'm giving, the actual verb, the words that come out of my mouth, I would hope that you give it to somebody else to ghostwrite it, to clean it up, to make it say, oh, here's what this guy was trying to say, but let's actually make him sound like he knows what he's talking about. I had the negative of that happen to me. I was interviewed for a book that I thought was going to become a chapter that I was contributing to, and when I got a copy of the book, it was the exact transcription, and I sounded like a bumbling oaf. And I don't think I'm a bumbling oaf, but perhaps I am, but it sure looked that way in the printed word.
Well, it's been proven that writing is different than talking.
It is extremely different. Yeah, so let's not use them to be one and the same. It's a great way to get the content done, but you're not done when you get that transcription back. Then the writing massaging actually comes in. That's why you need a good editor to help with that stuff.
I like it, because Jennifer, my girlfriend, she's a masseuse, so she massages a body. A copy editor massages a book, and gets that going. I like that term.
Yeah, you're exactly right with that one.
And you can use that if you want.
Oh, okay, I'll find a way to make that.
Where do people find you? What books you got out there? Name all of them in under 30 seconds.
Got it. There's the Podcasting for Dummies book. There's Expert Podcasting Practices for Dummies, which is a terrible title. But the book that I just wrote is called Writing Awesome Sales Copy. And it's a modern indie author's guide. It's the beginning of a new series of books a new collection of books we're putting out for that. Where to find me? These days, man, I am Google+. It is the best social network that's out there. I've almost given up on Facebook and Twitter and the other ones. I'm there occasionally, but yeah, go to Google+, search for me. I run a really great digital publishing community as a Google+ community. It's got about 3,500 members. We keep the conversation right on. If you want to know what to do to get in the publishing space and you want to do it from the beginning, go to Google+, look in the communities for digital publishing, jump in. People are willing to help you go the whole way. It's great.